Hi, boys and girls. Today for math, we are going to do a different kind of measurement called capacity. So far this week, we have worked on comparing lengths to talk about what is shorter or what is longer. We have also compared weights, what is heavier, what is lighter. So today we're going to do a different kind of measurement called capacity. Capacity is a big word, but it just means the amount of space inside a container. How much does it take to fill this container up? So it might be a container like something that has food in it. Lots of your containers in your kitchen have capacity. So how much does it take to fill up a container like this? Or it might be a box that contains something. So the space inside that box is its capacity. Or maybe something like this package of candy. When I talk about how many candies fit inside this package, that's talking about its capacity. Or it could even be something that doesn't have food in it, like my jar here. It's full of cotton balls. So when I talk about how many cotton balls fit inside my jar, I'm talking about its capacity. So the first thing we're going to do is watch a short little video about a little boy who is using capacity to make snacks for his friends. And then when we're done, we are going to compare the capacities of some different containers that you find around your house.
Here's my favorite little brother.
Hey, Shauna, how was the shape hunting?
Great! I saw shapes everywhere. Shapes are all around us, and... Van, why do you have flour on your nose?
What? Oh.
And chin?
Ugh.
And forehead? Oh, better just wipe your whole face. What's going on here?
I made cookies to bring to the class tomorrow.
Oh, I love these! You used my cookie cutters that have different shapes.
I've got enough cookies for everyone in class. And I have the same amount of water, juice, and milk in all these pitchers.
Are you sure they all have the same amount of liquid?
Sure, I'm sure. They're all at the same level. See?
But each of these pitchers is a different shape. So you can't tell whether the amounts they hold are the same or different just by looking at them.
Uh-oh. Well, now what am I gonna do? I want everyone in class to have enough to drink.
Don't worry, Van. I'll show you. To find out how much liquid is in each of those different shaped containers, we'll need to use a special kind of cup. When we put liquid into this cup, we are measuring. That's why this special kind of cup is called a measuring cup. See these lines? These are for different amounts of liquid. But when you fill this measuring cup to this mark, that's exactly 1 cup.
I get it. 1 cup is always the same amount every time you measure.
You got it. So which of these pitchers has the most liquid inside? And remember what I said about different shapes.
I can't tell which one holds the most because all the shapes are different.
Right. Now let's use the measuring cup and find out. 1 cup, 2 cups, 3 cups, 4 cups. We measured 4 cups, so this pitcher had 4 cups of juice in it. This pitcher has a cylinder shape. How much milk do you think it holds?
I'll measure it. 1 cup. 2 cups. 3 cups. 4 cups. 5 cups.
Right! So let's compare the number of cups in front of each pitcher. There are 4 cups in front of the pyramid pitcher and 5 cups in front of the cylinder-shaped pitcher. Which has more liquid?
The cylinder.
Great job! Now let's see how much water is in the rectangular-shaped pitcher.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cups.
So which pitcher has the most liquid?
The rectangular-shaped pitcher. Wow! Even though the pitchers were filled to the same height, they had different amounts of liquid in them. I guess I'll need some more juice and milk to make sure I have enough for everyone in class.
Right. So if you want to make sure there's the same amount in each pitcher,
I need to measure. I can do that. I also counted all the cookies.
you better count again. I think there's one less.
2 less.
Now, boys and girls, when you get ready to do your capacity activity, you might want to do it outside, especially since the weather is supposed to be beautiful and warm and sunny. This is actually a perfect activity to do outside. And that way, if you spill or make a mess, your mom or dad won't get so upset. So what you're gonna need to do is to look around your house, maybe in the kitchen, ask your family to help you if you need to, and find 3 different containers that you think are different sizes. So I went through my cabinets and I found these 3 containers that I think are different sizes. When I compare them next to each other, they look like they're different sizes, okay? And then you're also going to want to get something that you're gonna use to measure your capacity with. So I just got a different container. You're gonna wanna make sure that whatever you're filling up your containers with, make sure you use the same one on all 3. So if I start with this container filling up water inside one, then I need to use this same container to fill up all 3. Now, you don't have to use water to fill up your containers to compare the capacity. I, at my house, did not have enough beans and rice or something like that I felt like I could get rid of or use for this activity because we're using it for our meals that we eat. So for me, it was easiest to just use water. But again, if you're going to use something like water, I would do this outside, especially since the weather is supposed to be beautiful and warm and sunny. That way, if you spill or make a mess, it's okay. You won't get in trouble. Okay, so what we're gonna do is just like the little boy did in the video, we're going to I'm gonna pour in some water in each container, and I'm going to keep track of how much I pour in there so that I can sort my containers into which one holds the smallest amount to which one holds the largest amount. So I'm gonna start with my little one. This one is the one that I think is the smallest. Okay, so I'm gonna fill up my container of water and pour it in here. Oh, and it's overflowing. So I see that this container didn't even hold one of these, okay? So I'm gonna pour it back in there. So this container held less than even one of these. Okay, so now I'm gonna try this container. It looks like it's gonna hold more, but let's see. So I'm filling my plastic bowl up to the top. Okay, there's one. Now I can already see that this container holds more than this one because one whole bowl filled up this one and there's still a little bit of room. So I'm gonna scoop up another full bowl and pour it in. And, oh, it doesn't quite hold 2, but it almost did. It held about 1.5 of these. Okay, so already I know that this one had a smaller capacity than this one. So this one was first, then this one. Now this is the container that I think was gonna have the largest capacity, the biggest capacity out of the 3. So let's see if I'm right. So again, I'm using the same container that I used on the others, and I'm filling it all the way up to the top before I put it in my big big container. So I'm filling it up. Okay, there's 1. 2. 3. Wow. This one held about 3 of these cups inside this container. Wow. So I know that this one had the largest capacity because it held 3 of these containers. So this first container held less than 1 of these. This one held about 2, or a little bit less than 2 actually. And then this container held about 3 of these. So if I were going to put these in order from smallest to largest capacity, this is the order that I would put them in. This one had the smallest, and this one had the largest. Now, I also wanted to show you something that the little boy was talking about in the video. He thought that all 3 of his containers had the same capacity because when he put them side by side, they all stopped. The liquid stopped at the same spot. And so he thought that that meant they all had the same amount of space inside. And then his sister explained to him that because the containers were different shapes, that changed how much capacity they had, how much they could hold inside. So I wanted to show you, I went through my cabinets and I found these 2 containers, and I was curious if one of them held more than the other. When I look at them, I think that this one is going to hold more than this one because it's taller. It's a lot taller than this one. So I was curious to see. So the way I'm going to check that is I'm going to fill this container up with water and I'm going to pour it into this container and see if they are different or the same. So I'm going to first fill this one up as much as I can, all the way to the top. Okay, now I'm going to pour it in this container to see if one is more than the other. Whoa, wait a minute. Hey, all the water in here fit perfectly inside of here. How can that be? Well, boys and girls, the shape of a container, or how tall or how wide it is important in how much capacity it can hold. Just because this container is taller than this container does not necessarily mean that it holds more. So when you're thinking about capacity, you have to think about the shape of the container and how tall it is or how deep it is. Even though this container is a lot taller, they both had the same capacity. They held the same amount of water. This one isn't tall, but it's a lot wider. It's a lot bigger in the opening. So, interesting. Think about that when you are thinking about capacity. So boys and girls, I hope that you have fun today experimenting with capacity, the amount of space that's inside a container. Remember, it's probably best to do this activity outside. That way, if you spill or make a mess, it won't be such a big deal. And it's supposed to be a beautiful day with nice warm temperatures and sunny skies. So it's the perfect day to go outside and experiment with the different capacities of different containers that you find around your house.